All right, Garrett Johnston here. We're at Woodmont Country Club. I'm with the director of golf, David Dorn, and pretty special week here with the U.S. Adaptive Open going on. I'm just curious for you, like how does it feel to have this event happening after it's been a stretch to get here, I'd imagine, or just a long time, I should say.
Well, it's a thrill where everybody here is enjoying it. It's probably the best thing we've ever done here at Woodmont.
When you say best thing, in terms of just fulfilling, in terms of just how it makes you guys feel, giving back, or what?
Well, just to see from the players, the staff, the members who are out here, volunteering, um, just across the board, everybody is just having the best time, just being part of it.
Well, I imagine that accessibility is such a big part of it, right? And I know you guys had the design, you guys had some work on with your architect recently on the South Course, which is hosting it this week. I'm just curious, like, what has it been like for accessibility in the lead up to this? How has that all played out for you?
Well, I mean, we put a big effort into trying to make the South Course work for this championship. And Joel Wyman, the architect who did it, was, great in the way, our vision was having fairways and tees just flow together. So we have multiple teeing areas for the best of players and all the way up for the, you know, kids and beginners. So we've got all the bases covered from that standpoint. The bunkers are very easy to get in and out of with not just senior players, but also golf carts. So, and that's a big part of this championship.
And you're talking about accessibility for the bunkers, but they're still pretty darn challenging. I was out there
Oh,
and I played a week ago, and like especially on nine, some of those surrounding bunkers on those greens pretty tricky.
they're still intimidating. And look, we've got the 2028 US Junior, and those kids. I mean, Tiger Woods won that 3 times. Jordan Spieth won it. Scotty Scheffler. We've got to have a challenging course for them too, and it can be that.
When I think challenging golf course, you got so much happening this week. The people that have come to play in this event, 96. Just for you, how rewarding is this? And what are you grateful for when you see this all come together?
You stand on the first tee or the 10th tee when they're starting out, and I watched the very first group today, with Courtney starting, and I will tell you, I started to tear up watching them because it's so inspiring, the resilience of these players, how good they are. Somebody without full use of either hand, and they're ripping off a 240-yard drive down the middle. And then you see somebody with Down syndrome that's just so excited to be here, high five, and they're high fiving each other. They're congratulating each other throughout the whole day. They're rooting for one another. Nobody wants to see anybody make a bogey. It's just, it's so great to see.
I often think during, especially when it's U.S. Open qualifying that we have here at Woodbine, it's totally choose your own adventure or final qualifying, especially, right? Because anything can happen all across the golf course. We've seen Billy Hurley come through. For you, you got to be where your feet are, and you got to make decisions. How are you spending your time during the championship?
I'm doing everything. It's, you know, it's amazing. I get with every 5 minutes, there's a call or a text or where are you? I need you to do this, or can you do that? Or, Garrett wants to interview you, or, yeah.
It's late because of Beltway traffic, right?
Right. The golf channel, you got to go do an interview here, or, I got to go to the medical. We've got a problem. Can you get somebody, so you're just pulled every which way, but it's still a joy. It's really great.
Was there a point where you knew we got to get this event here? Was there a particular moment, a day that where it came to your mind at all?
Well, I went to the very first Adaptive Open down at Pinehurst. Chris Biggins is one of my former interns. I went down to watch him. I saw he was playing, uh, and I was already making a trip down there, so I drove another 60 miles to go over and see it. And as soon as I went in there and started seeing what was going on, I said, "This is something we can do, and we can do in a big time way." So that's when very first one. And then the next year I came back and went down there again. I went down with my superintendent, some others, and we just said we're doing this.
And I know you told me yesterday off mic that, you really want this to be remembered. That's a big goal. And I know there's just a lot that could come into that, but like what kinds of little things can you do to help make this first one you got next year as well to be remembered as well as possible?
Oh, there's so many things that we're doing. We're trying to make, every step of the way, we're trying to make it special for the players. And, um, so, and as we're doing that, we're looking and saying, hey, we could do this better next year. We could do this. What if next year we do this? And, um, one of my goals was to try and get some US Open champions here, and, going to make a big push for that next year.
We might as well. I mean, the USGA event, you guys have hosted so many over the years, right?
You'd think it would be a no brainer. I mean, you got to get people here, but once they're here, they're hooked. And, Tiger Woods comes on out, he would really be pleased at what he's seeing, and he'd want to come back again.
Last question I had for you was over all the years, it's hard to pick a favorite child. In this case, I think about 10 U.S. Open final qualifyings I've covered, been lucky to cover. For you, is there a memory that stands out from those events? Is it kind of cool seeing Denny McCarthy come through 10 years ago? Those kinds of things.
Oh, it's always fun. I love Denny. He's, one of my favorites and a friend, and, see him make it, that's great. They're all so, they're all so special. Sam Ryder one year, I was just standing there at scoring, and, I was looking down as he's writing his card, and I'm looking at it and looking at it. I said, you just shot the course record. And I said, wait a minute, you didn't even play a practice round, did you? And he said, no. And I said, well, how'd you do this? And he said, aimed at the middle of the fairway, aimed at the green, and had a hot putter. And then I think it was 2 years later, I was down at Bay Hill, and I'm walking with Denny and Sam Ryder in a practice round. And Sam was needling Denny, like, how come, you don't have the course record there? I do. And, so stuff like that makes it special.
Well, David, Dorn, really appreciate the time and enjoyed this fourth U.S. Adaptive Open.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for coming.